Hello, hi, welcome back. Childhood days are the most valuable or the most beautiful days of our lives. We have a lot of stories to share, a lot of memories to cherish. We've enjoyed our childhood days. But what kind of a life do you think it would be if you start to suffer from the childhood days? You may lose hope, you may grow up in depression, or you may probably hate yourself. But there was a lady who survived all of this, and her name is Sindhu Tai. So in this video, we're going to talk about the life story of Dr. Sindhu Tai. I've got a picture of her just so that you know who I'm talking about. She's the one. She was born in November 1948 in a place called Wardha in Maharashtra. So being born in a family who was already going through some financial crisis, Sindhu was an unwanted or an unwelcome child in the family. They hated her. They even called her Chindi, which means a torn piece of cloth in Marathi language. Her father somehow managed her to send to the local school, and she managed to study till 4th standard. But her mother wanted her to quit schooling and get married. And they did. By the age of 10, she got married to a man who was 30 years old, which is really bad. So she got married now and she got pregnant. And now there was some bad news about this young girl in the village. Some poor people in the village started spreading some bad news about Sindhu. And this reached her husband and he started beating her. And one day he decided to kick her out of the family. And one night he beaten her brutally and he just thrown her in a backyard where he had a cow shed. So that was night. Cows don't know what was happening and it just started stomping on Sindhu's face, leg, and she was badly injured. There was one cow which actually protected Sindhu that night and it protected in a way that the other cows would not stump her anymore. So that night she gave birth to a baby girl. So she survived as well. Next day morning, she moved out of the city and she walked down to her family and they refused to accept her as well and don't know what to do. Having a 1 day old kid in her hand, she was just walking down and she moved to the nearest town and she found a railway station where she can rest and we can shelter herself. So that day, she don't know what to do with the kid, and the next day she started begging for food. And this time is when Sindhu actually found there were a lot of other kids who were also left orphan, who were abandoned by their family, and she started protecting them as well. She started begging more vigorously so that she could have more money to protect or give shelter for the other kids or the other orphan people around there. So now she started actually to talk to more people asking for donation. She used to talk to a large group of people, and by the end of her talk, she would spread her cloth and ask for donation, and people would donate her. Having saving some amount of money, she started her own orphanage with 16 kids, and now this orphanage has more than 1,500 orphans, which is really amazing. So people who were adapted earlier were doctors and lawyers and IT professionals today who have their own orphanages, which is really awesome. So Sindhu was recognized by a lot of awards. Sindhu Tai was recognized with a lot of awards. She got Mother Teresa Award. She has Woman of Steel, Mind of Iron, a lot of awards. She has almost 700 awards, a room full of awards. So one of her interview, people asked her, "What do you? How did you survive? How did you survive all of the struggles?" And she said, when she was kicked out of the family, when she was walking down that day when she had a 1 day old kid, she found a tree where she can take some rest. And she was sitting down, and she looked up, and this shadow where she was sitting is coming from a broken branch. And she realized that if this broken branch could give me a shadow, I can do more than that. So that was an inspiration for her. What lesson shall we learn from Sindhu's life? So, people like Sindhu often remind us that humanity still exists, and with love and hope, every one of us can make a difference. So, today, if you are going through something or if you're going through some tough time, you may not have a good job, your relationship may not make you happy, just remind us with love and hope, every one of us can make a difference. Thank you for watching, and you have a great day.